Woman put silicone in her belly to disguise herself as a pregnant woman to counter-scam these two crooks. She claimed she was afraid of the radiation from her cell phone. She pointed to a box and asked to put her cell phone in it. When the crooks saw that the locksmith's cell phone was also in the box, so they let their guard down. They also put it in. The crooks went into the kitchen and deliberately called the police. Once the alarm was raised, the woman mistook it for a gas leak. The pregnant woman pretended to be very anxious and asked what to do. The crooks claimed to have turned off the valve. The next second, the valve was broken. A strong smell of natural gas was emitted. The scammer thought it was really a gas leak. Afraid of making a big deal out of it, he was ready to run away. I didn't realize that the door had been locked from the outside. The woman pretended to have difficulty breathing. Panicked crooks began to panic, rushed to open the windows of the car ventilation. Looking at the fainting woman, the crooks were completely disorganized. This is a moment of destiny. If not, he'll be shot. Suddenly, the crook remembered that there was a locksmith outside the door. He tapped on the door and asked him to unlock the door, but he said he couldn't unlock the door without the owner's permission. But the woman was still unconscious. The crook shouted, "What rules are? It is important to save lives. A loss of 2 lives this is. I didn't expect the locksmith to raise the price. Asked for 5,000 yuan. Angry crooks feel that it is simply blackmail. It would be faster to accuse the other side of robbing a bank, but calmly discuss. If a person is really killed, he will not be able to take the blame. He reluctantly agreed to the locksmith's price. However, the master will not unlock the door until he sees the money, but their cell phones are still in the box outside. The crooks had to tell each other the password. The master, who received 5,000 yuan in less than a second to open the door. The crooks hurriedly put the fainting pregnant woman on the sofa. Seeing the woman slowly woke up, they were relieved. The fun had just begun. When they found out that they had been cheated by $5,000, the woman immediately said she would pay them back. Then she said her mom was on the 5th floor. She'll go get the money right away. At this point, the happy scammer was very happy, thinking they've met the wrong person. The woman went out of the room and took off the silicone. The locksmith called the other man to come in.
你们俩是谁？怎么跑我家里面来了？
你爱人上楼上去给俺们拿钱去了。
我爱人在贵州呢。
The man had just returned home. He found 2 strange men. The man was dumbfounded. Looking at the broken locks of his house, he demanded $20,000 in compensation. Otherwise, the police will be called immediately. At this point, the 2 crooks realized that they had been tricked by a woman. In order to avoid imprisonment, they could only pay the money. Outside the home of the 2 crooks, they were still blaming each other, but they didn't know that the gas leak was also faked by them. It turned out to be just compressed air with some odor enhancers. The men then donated all the money. They had just gotten to the elderly anonymously.